Hey guys, this is my video about the billion gold challenge. Many people keep saying that playing the auction house is common sense and it is easy to make gold with it. In my opinion, that's a false statement. For example, the stock market in real life seems pretty simple as well. You buy shares when the price is low and sell them when it's high. However, it's actually very complex and definitely not easy to make money with it. The auction house pretty much works the same way. While doing this challenge, I was extremely lucky, and it could have definitely gone wrong. But let's not keep you waiting any longer. Here are the strategies I used and the way of how I made 400 million gold in just 3 days without getting a lucky drop, without getting donations, and without getting paid for crafting. So I had 600 million gold to invest, and my plan was to invest into high-end weapons and sell them for a higher price. Because if people have the choice to spend their 100 million gold or 200 million gold on an item, it's probably the weapons and not an armor piece. So my main focus was weapons. Here I found a spear with 3 minutes left and it was currently being bid on. There's a 160 million gold offer and I thought it would be a good idea to snipe this spear. So I was waiting and refreshing until it shows less than 1 minute. And then I would place my bid and hope that I get it. So now you can see that it's going to less than 1 minute. I wanted to pay like 200 million gold for it. I thought that's a reasonable price and that I can still make profit from reselling. If I'm lucky, I can get it for less and get some gold back. And the thing is, I know that someone would buy this for 160 million. So if I buy it, then maybe the same guy will buy it like later for 200 million or 250 million. And maybe you already watched my sniping video, how to snipe items. You press search until it shows less than 1 minute, and at the same time you press your stopwatch and you start to count 1 minute. And when it's like 58 seconds, then you press your bid. Like with that strategy, no one else has a chance to counter this or to respond to your offer. So here I was just waiting, watching my stopwatch and getting ready to place my bid. There you see my bid placed and press OK, and in like 1 or 2 seconds it shows me that I won the item. So yeah, that was my first item that I bought, and I'll show you some more now. I also got 32 million gold back, as you can see. So I purchased it for 168 million gold. Another excellent strategy to use the auction house are items without and buyout. So for example, this amulet, it's a very good amulet. This is for 40 million. It's probably worth around 30 million. And it has 3 hours, 6 minutes left. So if you see an item like that, that's underpriced, and where you know that you can make profit from it, what I do is I take a piece of paper, write down the stats of the amulet and the end date. For example, I write down if it ends in 3 hours and then it's 6:10 p.m., I write down 6:10 p.m. And sometimes if I go to sleep before, I even set my alarm clock to that time so I can come here and try to snipe that item and get it for cheap. And when you look for items, you always want to look for example, critical hit damage, 35 and sockets. Because many people don't put a high crit damage socket in it. Like that's a major mistake, and in this case you see here I found a weapon with crit hit damage and a socket, but it's only a 45% crit hit damage. Like on a 40 million item or even more, that socket is wrong. Like you should spend 2 million to get an 80% one, and like more people will search for 80% than for 30% crit. So here you can see the item, 45% crit damage increased, axe, which is a great mainhand weapon. Like for mainhands, axes and maces are worth a lot more. And yeah, I was searching for different gems, which one is the right one. 7 million is probably a bit too much for this item, so I purchased an 80% one for 2 million gold. I didn't use my own gems because I wasn't allowed to in this challenge, and yeah. I went into the game, replaced the socket, and then put up the same axe again. So yeah, here you can see me replacing the socket. I'm not showing every single minute, because otherwise this video would be 10 hours long at least. But yeah. Now when putting up the item, you want to search for items with similar stats. For example, in this case, 150 strength and 80% crit hit damage, because that's what people are going to look for. And here you can see a similar mace. The mace is actually better, but it's priced for 100 million. There's a kind of worse item for 60 million, so I thought I can sell this axe for around 60 million, maybe a bit more. And yeah, it's also really good for a weapon if it actually has more than 1000 DPS, because many people don't even consider items with less than 1000 DPS. So that's like a magical number that increases the value of the item without being any better than a, for example, 999 DPS weapon. So I think I put it up for 60 million or 70 million actually, and I also sold it. So I purchased for 40 million, sold for 70 million, with fees probably around 23 million profit, and with the gem. So yeah, I was looking for other items. As you know from before already, I wanted to deal mainly with weapons. I also dealt with other items, some pants and rings and amulets, but things like shoulders, boots, they didn't have enough profit margin for me. So here I actually found this really nice one hand. It had 1 day, 11 hours left, was underpriced, and I purchased it. Now it doesn't have a socket, but what this one hand has is 300 strength and vitality and crit hit damage. So it's actually a really, really good item. Like 307 strength is like almost perfect. Like perfect is 350 on a weapon. So in this case, I actually tried it out on my own character to see if it's an upgrade, and yeah, it actually turned out to be an upgrade for myself. Like I gained 400 DPS with it. And here's another item that I sniped. Really nice gloves for 140 int, 66 resist all, high crit hit damage and high crit chance. It was bidded for only 4 million, so I decided to spend 9 million on it. Yeah, waited until bid is accepted, and you can see immediately, like that was less than 1 second, I won the auction and I got more than 4 million gold back. So I also was able to make a lot of profit on this item, even if it's a few million. That helps me to beat the challenge. And then I also sniped a really good mace. My goal was to get as many top tier items with like critical hit damage, a space stat, and a socket plus axe or mace. Like those were the items that I wanted, or really high crit hit damage for an offhand, because I wanted to own and control the market. You're only able to do this if you have like a budget that I had. Like you can see me here, I'm already down to 45 million. So like I invested 550 million, probably 420 of it into weapons that I tried to sell at higher prices. So there was a lot of risk involved, because what happens if the items don't sell? And this actually became a big problem for me, because I invested 500 million gold into top end items. I didn't expect them to sell immediately, but like I was waiting 6 or 7 hours and they still didn't sell. Like not a single item of them sold, and I was like afraid that I could lose the challenge or could like get down to 50 million gold because all my items don't sell and I have to like sell them later for much less gold. So at that point, with my weapons not being sold even after 12 hours and me still being at 50 million gold, I was actually really worried, and yeah, I ate a lot of ice cream, tried to like chill down, because I was really nervous and I wanted to beat that challenge and not like come out with it with 50 million gold and be a big flop. So yeah, then I happened to go to the supermarket. I wanted to buy some food. And when I was there, I actually came across a bottle of wine which was listed for 20 euro. And next to it, that was the interesting thing, next to it was the same bottle of wine listed for 10 euro, but it was the same manufacturer. So I was thinking like, hey, they probably have the same wine in it, but why is this one like half the price? And then a term that we learned in university came to my mind. It's called premium products. So the manufacturer places one product at a high price, so that if people go there, for example, and see the high or the 20 euro wine, then they are like, wow, this costs 20 euro. But if they see the similar wine next to it for 10 euro, they are like, hey, I'm gonna buy this. I'm saving like 50%, it's probably the same. And actually end up buying the wine even though they weren't even interested in wine. So yeah, what I did, like, I don't drink alcohol, so I went home, logged on Diablo 3 and did this. As you can see here, I was putting up my own weapons of my barbarian on the auction house. So many people found this out and messaged me like, hey, you are cheating the gold challenge, you're selling your own gear to make profit. But hey, that wasn't the point for it. Like, I was putting up my weapons for prices that no single person can afford and that no one would ever buy. So I was actually putting up my main hand for 850 million gold, and yeah, there are only 2 people playing in Europe that can potentially afford this item, but I know that both are playing Demon Hunter. If you want the names, one is called Affine, who got money by donations, and the other one is called Chris, who got a lot of gold from other people for doing crafting for them. But yeah, I had to stop my weapons not selling because people probably thought they are overpriced. Like, I don't think I did anything wrong. Like, I put them up for reasonable prices, like prices that equal the worth of the items. And yeah, they didn't sell because people probably thought, hey, that's the most expensive item on the market, why should I buy it? Like, and yeah, if they see now my real weapons listed for like insane prices, then people might be like, hey, 200 million, or for example, if they have 200 or 300 million, 200 million for such a good weapon is actually okay because this weapon is 950 million, like, who's going to pay for this? And yeah, actually I was a bit worried that there would be a person out there that could actually buy my items, but you know, if that would have happened, I would have lost the challenge, and even worse, I would have lost my gear. But yeah, you'll see it later what actually happened to my weapons. But yeah, I listed them. I listed my offhand as well for a ridiculous amount, and yeah, that's how I tried to solve the problem of my weapons not selling. And here you can see the items that I put up. Like, the first 2 are the new weapons that I put up as premium items, just to like get some attraction for my other weapons, which are still very, very expensive, like in the range of 200 million gold. And yeah, and here at the end of day 1, which was my investing day, like in day 1 I wanted to invest all my gold, trying to get more out of it than I invest. So at the end of the day, I was actually owning the 3 best items in the entire Europe. Like the first item, the second item, and the third item, all with strength and 130% crit damage, were owned by myself. That's exactly where I wanted to be, in a state where if people actually want to buy a really good item, they have to buy it from myself. So here I was actually checking if on the real money auction house, if there is anything better, but no, there's not even above 1k DPS, even if I don't search for strength. So I was owning the top 3 European items and yeah, trying to capitalize on them. And it also always amazes me how people can be wrong about pricing items. I found this amulet with 70 resist all, 300 armor, 50% crit hit damage and 9% crit hit chance for 3 million gold. And the first mistake was like the buyout price was way too low, like 3 million for this. Are you kidding me? And the second mistake was it didn't have a socket. So people that look for strength, for example, I think that's the ideal barbarian. Like people who look for strength won't find this item in search. But there's a socket on it, so why not make use of this socket and put a 50 strength gem in it? Many people are looking for 50 strength or 100 strength and increase the value of the item. So yeah, that was here like 18 million profit or 500%. And yeah, that's it for day one. And yeah, that was the end of day one, and I want to tell you that this was a personal challenge, and many of these strategies only work because of the starting capital I had and my knowledge of the auction house. I don't recommend you to copy what I did in the video, especially if you have just a few million gold or even less. My suggestion is to farm in whatever act you can. You will get a detailed explanation with the reasons why it wouldn't work for you tomorrow or the day after. And see you then. I'm going to start the stream now on Twitch TV.